Hello and welcome to the North Bank podcast. I'm your host Holly and I'm joined by Stef and Chris. Hello, gentlemen.
Evening.
Good evening.
It's been a while. It's been a while. What was that? Was that a bit deep?
It was quite fruity, wasn't it?
Hello.
Well, it's just because we haven't seen each other for a while. Its absence makes the heart grow fonder, Steph.
Why are you so loud, Steph?
Sorry.
Anyway, it's been a couple of weeks since we got... Boys, behave yourselves. It's been a couple of weeks since we had a chat, and we were going to record yesterday evening, and for a number of reasons we decided to postpone for 24 hours because we were worried we didn't have enough to talk about, and kind of a few Ornstein bombers, or I need to talk about Hand of Arsenal. Who is he? Or who are they?
And it's time for me to reveal. Who knows? It's got to be someone within the club. It's got to be.
Berta, surely.
Doesn't strike me as someone who's all over the socials, but you know.
But he's ahead. He's been ahead of Ornstein and Romano pretty much every transfer so far. Like I was trying to think, is there anything in the Hand of Arsenal that points to a particular kind of person, a play on words? But anyway, he's been brilliant. Hand of Arsenal, yeah, perhaps. But anyway. Yeah, we've picked up a few players. I think, Steph, have you relaxed a little bit? You said you suggested you might even be a little bit excited now.
Yeah, and I think I know you said about maybe referencing it, but I sent it in the group earlier about Sam Dean from the Telegraph, basically talking about how this could be the busiest Arsenal have ever been in a transfer window before we go on our pre-season tour. So, are you not entertained? Is kind of my reaction. Now it's good.
Extend the transfer window. Sod the football.
I'm sure there are some fans out there that would like an eternal transfer window rather than actual football, but I am not one of them.
Do you know what I might do? I might start a petition. Because I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh, you've gone big.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Maybe you could go and deface the pictures in the tunnel towards the ground as well.
Oh, anyway, look, we'll come to that because it's absolutely worth talking about. But let's run through the signings we've got so far. And Steph, do correct me if I'm jumping the gun on one or two of these, as I know you get a little bit twitchy. Kepa, 5 million. Zubamendi, next one in, 51 million. Norgaard next in, 10, 11 million. These are fees without add-ons. These are the basic fees. Add-ons, obviously, dependent upon performance and appearances and so on. Madueke, 48.5 million. Gyökeres, 55 million. And Mosquera, 12 to 13 million. Right, so we'll talk about those. Potential sales, and let me know if I've left anybody out, but the names I've written down: Trossard, Vieira, Lokonga, Nelson and Zinchenko. Possibly Kivior. I do not want that, so I don't think we will. But if there was a name from maybe closer to the first 11, it would possibly be Kivior. I've written down indicative fees that we might get for these players. So again, finger in the air, I have no idea. Trossard, 20 million. The reason I put down 20 million for him, which I think is quite a lot, is because there seems to be quite a bit of interest in him. Bayern Munich, in particular, the latest club that are linked with him from the German press. Saudi have expressed held a long-standing interest in him as well. So maybe that might push up the price a little bit. Vieira, I may be being a little bit optimistic with 20 million, but maybe 15 million for Vieira. It depends. The rumours about Palmer are apparently wide of the mark, according to Hand of Arsenal. And if he says it, I'm agreeing with him. Lokonga, 10 million, if we can shift him. Reece Nelson, apparently there's a lot of interest in him from Top Flight, but he said he'd rather stick around London. I've got a suggestion. Crystal Palace, part exchange. But anyway... I've put down 15 million for him because I think he's got a lot of years left on his contract. If he stays fit, I think that's decent value. I'd say 15 million for him. And Zinchenko, I've put down 15 million as well. What unsure about, and I should have checked, is I don't know how many years he's got left on his contract. If he's got 1 year left, then 15 is probably a bit steep. But if he's got 2 years left, I think 15. And from his perspective, he's further and further away from the starting 11. So I love him, and he's been brilliant, and he was all part of our uptick in, well, the energy, the positivity, the passion, the quality. You know, he was a large part of that transformation under Arteta. But I think from his perspective, surely you'd want to go someplace where you were more assured of first team football.
In a World Cup year as well.
Yes.
He'll want minutes. You know, he's probably never in doubt to be picked for Ukraine, but at the same time will want to be sharp going into the World Cup.
Anyone else? Have I left anybody out? Karl Hein, the goalkeeper, maybe. I don't know how much of a fee we'd command for him. Tavares is gone. We've got money for someone else as well. I can't remember who it is. So I think I think it was a sell-on fee for someone, or maybe it was Tavares as well. Yeah, they bought him off us and then they sold him on, and we got 20% of that sell-on fee as well. But something like that anyway. So that's about 80 million. We might get. We've spent 181 million. We've extended Lewis Skelly and Gabriel, and looks like the mood music today for Waneri is all very positive, and they're quite confident that they expect him to sign. Apparently, Dortmund had been the biggest challenge to that, offering him what was quoted as the Jude Bellingham route. But it has always been reported that Waneri wants to stay, that he's Arsenal, and it would be good because you want the player to back himself, like unlike Sesko, who didn't come to us last year because he felt he wasn't good enough to challenge Havertz for enough first team minutes. Back yourself, it's like, and so if Waneri's backing himself, seems to be his position would be more of an understudy to Erdegaard than understudy to Saka, but we'll come to that in a minute. So, Steph, overall, where we're at right now, we've still got, the squad fly away on the 19th on Saturday. I think that's Saturday. They fly away to Singapore for the Asia Tour. We could have, as Sam Dean said, 6 new players on the plane for that. Obviously, Madueke wouldn't be. I think he's due like 2 or 3 weeks off. He's been with Chelsea at the Club World, whatever that is, the Donald Trump tournament or whatever it is. I don't know, because he was celebrating. He won it, didn't he? Donald Trump won it. He was celebrating on the.
It's just photobombing, wasn't he? Just getting in there.
I haven't seen it, but apparently Cole Palmer was not very subtle in his displeasure of sharing the stage with Donald Trump, which I think he's gone up in my estimation. But anyway,
Yeah.
Funny thing I saw online was someone suggesting that they were pretty certain that Cole Palmer knows Donald Trump more from Home Alone 2 than being the actual president of the United States.
Very good.
Yeah, excellent. So, Steph, what's your kind of take on the transfer window so far? I mean, give it a mark out of 10 so far.
Oh, it's got to be an 8, I would say. You can maybe nitpick about some of the players. I get the feeling that some of the players that we've got in might not even be the club's first choice, but they've struck that balance between chasing a particular target and having targets in place, ready to go on pre-season tour, ready to be in as good a position as possible, ready to start the season. And for that, I think the club absolutely has to be commended. There's been a lot of decisiveness in terms of the way they've gone for players. To make some replacements for players that have left, but also to add a little bit of depth to the squad in a number of positions, whilst also hopefully bolstering, the first choice 11 a little bit as well. Do any of the players scream out that they are going to be a guaranteed starter? I mean, maybe not, but I mean, Gyökeres is probably that one.
No, Supermendi.
Oh, Zubimendi, sorry, of course, as well. This is the funny thing, isn't it? Okay, Zubimendi's been on the cards for so long and has gone so under the radar that it is almost the forgotten transfer, and yet it is a really, really good transfer.
It could be the transformational transfer.
Exactly. For, that creativity from deep and just, controlling the midfield and all those sorts of things. It could be.
And allowing Rice further forward where I think he's more effective as well.
So for me, I think also the speed of which the deals have been done, getting them ready to leave for Singapore, towards the end of the week, is fantastic, and I like some of the players. I think they're really good additions. I think the floor is definitely being risen to a team that is already operating at a very high level. Yeah, happy. 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the caveat will always be we have a reserve judgment until the end of the window to give it its final, because it could crash and burn if there's no more signings, or if there's a ridiculous signing, then it will have a huge effect. But I think so far, we're kind of trundling along nicely at a kind of about where you are, Steph, about an 8. And I agree with that thing of floor raising as well as ceiling raisers. So some of them have come in and are definitely ceiling raisers, like Zubimendi and Gyok. I know we haven't got him across the line yet, but it's kind of there.
Even Steph thinks we have.
It's there. It's really close.
There was a picture of him playing on his phone in an airport, and I don't know if it was. It could have been taken in any airport
like
in the
5
world.
years ago.
Exactly. Yeah, completely different hair. But and even Norgaard, he's not a ceiling raiser, but it's just squad floor raising quality, and their age profiles are different to what we were, say, 2-3 years ago, where we were building and we were investing in youth. I think the only one who's probably, is Mascara would be the one who you'd say
just turned 21.
Right. The rest have all kind of been around the block.
But he has played 75 La Liga games in the last 2 seasons. We've got him for £13 million.
No, it's outrageous. It's great.
Some of the prices have been good, yeah.
And can I say as well, what's really pleasing is the amount of times I've heard it had to be Arsenal for these players. They just discounted every other option. No, it's just Arsenal. So we're obviously doing something right in terms of selling the project, if you like.
Destination club.
Yeah.
Not like that Sesko fella.
I knew you were going to say that. Stepping stone.
Yeah, I want a release clause. On you go then. See where he ends up playing football next season. Okay, you mentioned fees, and I think the fees... So just taking on from what you were saying there, Chris, Kepa, second choice goalkeeper, big improvement on last season, and will mitigate any potential injury to Raya, very similar profile as well, and is coming off the back of his best season in the Premier League. And Bournemouth fans were sorry to see him go. Norgaard, Brentford captain, mentality monster. Brentford fans were really sorry to see him go. And just on Norgaard, I know I mentioned it before we started recording. If anybody has not seen the Norgaard video where he sees his son, his 5-year-old son, roughly, maybe a bit younger, in the Arsenal kit for the first time, it is so wholesome, heartwarming. It is just a thing of beauty, and it not that we need it, and not that we should need it, but it reminds us of the human aspect. These footballers, they're people, they're human beings. It was Norgaard's 31, and he thought the chance of playing at the very top had passed him by, and he said seeing his son in the Arsenal kit just brought it home, and he was completely overwhelmed by it. It was absolutely lovely. And when you see that as a fan, you're thinking, well, that bloke is going to give every ounce of blood, sweat and tears for the club, for the cause. You just know it, because he realises this is a great opportunity for him that he thought had passed him by. He talks about hearing the Champions League music. He says that's just going to be, and he knows he's coming for a place on the bench. He knows he's not going to start Champions League matches unless there's injuries ahead of him, which is fine. And I'm quite happy for him to be in that supporting role. Mosquera talks about, like, he's a beast. He's a beast. And someone pointed out that we got him for £35 million less than Dean Howson went from Bournemouth to Madrid, and that was a fixed fee. So again, and we haven't had that backup for Saliba. Now we've got specialist backup for Saliba, who does not have to play every game. It's over to Arteta now. He's got to make sure that Saliba doesn't play every game. We've who else have we got? Mosquera, Norgaard, okay, Zubimendi. Obviously, we talked about. Now Madueke, have to talk about this. Apparently, he's an Arsenal supporter as a kid. I know he's from Barnet, so it's either really Arsenal or Spurs that would have been pulling him as a kid. Apparently, he's an Arsenal. I've heard someone reference that. I don't know if that's true. I'm still yet to see him in an Arsenal kit as a kid, but I mean, that's only a matter of time, isn't it?
Yeah.
There'll be one.
Photographs
There's one of Gyökeres already doing the rounds.
There is, yeah. And I wonder is that how genuine it is. But I know I've already taken a photograph of my two boys in every big football team's kit, just in case. Future proofing. I haven't quite gone. Yeah, I haven't quite gone Carl Jenkinson and kitted out the whole bedroom in different football teams.
There's you in a corner of Sports Direct, like with loads of shirts lined up. And you're like, come on, get the next one on, quick, snap.
Yeah.
Do you need any help, sir? No, go away.
Spotted. Don't take a photograph of me anywhere near a Spurs kit, but boy, put one on for a minute. So look, Madueke, I mean, this Arsenal fan base, elements of it are an absolute embarrassment. And I don't care who hears or disagrees with that. I am unmovable from that viewpoint. First of all, what clown set up a petition no to Madueke? And then what, over 5,000 signatories to it? I mean, they're not Arsenal fans, are they? They're other club fans having a bit of banter at our expense, surely. I mean, you'd think so.
There have been some Arsenal fans out there, very opinionated. And the thing that gets me is that they perceive that as showing their passion, and that's not passion. That's just misguided, just ignorance, basically. You can show your passion by being reasoned and thinking, taking a step back and looking at what's going on with your club. That's not being passionate.
And they were abusing him on social media. He had to disable his social media accounts.
That was the bit where I was just ashamed of the reaction, because I must admit, look, when the news first broke of our interest of Madueke, I wasn't enamoured. Like, it didn't bowl me over. I worried.
None of us were.
We shared a few messages saying, if it prevents us going for other targets, this could be a real problem, and maybe the order of things as well. But if he comes, you just don't cross that line. You just act like a decent human being, whether you're online or in person. I don't care. That's fine. Going petitions and defacing murals around the club, all of that stuff is just beyond the pale. It's animalistic. It's stupid. So a lot of it, like you say, I think is performative. It's either rival fans or it's journalists stirring up a fire where there might not be one. But at the same time, even if a player is signed for Arsenal, and I'm not really sure what the view is of that, come the first game, if they're wearing red and white, you're cheering the team on. So it's just what you've got to do. Build these players up, stop tearing them down before they've even kicked the bloody ball.
I think for some people, they get so frustrated, and the only way they can articulate that is to, like social media, he who shouts loudest gets the attention. And rather than try and start a reasoned debate about something, it doesn't work. Nuance doesn't work on social media.
It's low emotional IQ, though, isn't it?
Oh, God, totally. And I think that the whole thing about the order, and this is something we've discussed as well, your immediate reaction is, well, that's a bit underwhelming. That's a lot of money. But then you take a step back and you think, well, maybe deals don't get done in an order that you would like. Some deals take longer, like Eze, for example. If that ever comes off, that's a more complicated deal. So the club aren't buying players in a particular order, to piss us off, or it's just the way things have fallen. And like I said before, let's judge this when the window's over, and And then we can maybe have a bit more of a debate.
Even 3 days later, people might be viewing it through within a different context. But I'll just step back to what you said. Havertz raised plenty of doubt in the Arsenal fan base. Ramsdale was probably the more similar one, because there was lots of vilification online about Ramsdale. I
couldn't believe we were buying a keeper that had been relegated twice. I'll admit it. And I was totally proven wrong. He lifted the club brilliantly. Yeah,
and absolutely. As I talked about Zinchenko, he's part of that transformation. His signing was another transformative one, especially in terms of the connection between the fan base and the players, because that was really toxic. And he was one of the biggest elements changing that completely transformed the relationship between the player and the fans. I'm just dreading Manchester United going for him now that Onana's out for 7 weeks with a hamstring injury. I do not. Ramsdale, don't go to United unless you're going for some really mad records where you're going to be relegated four seasons out, 4 clubs out of 5 that you've been with. That's the only way I'll appreciate that, if that's what's behind the motivation. But no, please no. What was I going to say about Madueke? Let me give you some stats on Madueke, because it was just the Havertz thing was because it was Chelsea, and I think I've seen it, I've heard it described as Chelsea fatigue, and I get that because we've had some duds from Chelsea, Sterling and Willian in particular. David Luiz won an FA Cup final for us. I know he had, it wasn't all good by any stretch. But Jorginho was good. Oh God, no, I've blotted that out.
Told you.
Jorginho was good, I think, for what we paid for and what we got. I think that was value for money. Again, really good around the club and good mentality, winners mentality and so on. That helps. I know people might laugh at winners mentality, and we're the perennial bridesmaid at the moment, but
got another one for you.
Go on.
Petr Cech.
Oh, I didn't like that at all.
Maybe the Chelsea fatigue is real.
No, it is real. Absolutely, it's real. But Chelsea buy players at such a rate of knots that actually it's not a bad hunting ground. And unless if we break down the transfer fee, 48.5 million, that's going to be, I think it's called amortization or something like that. It'll be spread over 5 years, and it'll be quick, 9 point something million pound a year. And that's nothing.
Also, I didn't watch a huge amount of Chelsea last season, but wasn't Madueke one of their better players?
Yes, he was their better. I've got some stats on him. He was their best winger. I mean, he outperformed Cole Palmer, because Cole Palmer went like 24 games without a goal. He played 32 games last season. He got 7 goals and 4 assists. Funnily enough, one of the only times he played as a left winger was against us in the 2-2 draw at Stamford. Was it 2-2 draw at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah.
I think that was something. So I've got one kind of overarching observation or stat on Madueke. And again, I was lukewarm at best when this was touted as a potential transfer. In fact, I was disbelieving. I thought someone was having a laugh linking this with Madueke. That was when I heard it first. But then it obviously gained a little bit of traction, and I thought, well, okay, I don't get this. More for what it could prevent us from doing in the future within this transfer window. I did also think it might harm Nwaneri's contract extension. I did also think it would guarantee that we wouldn't be going for a Rodrigo as a left winger, an out-and-out left winger. On the flip side, it means that Martinelli's going to have an opportunity to kick on from the back end of last season when his form did pick up. But listen to this. So in the top 5 leagues across Europe, the full list of players with 3+ carries into the penalty box and 3+ shots per 90 minutes, right? So if you think of what we're missing in our team, what do you call it, Steph? The arc of doom.
Oh, the arc of frustration, yeah. Or
arc
the horseshoe
of frustration.
Of death.
The
horseshoe of death, right? Okay. This is something this is a player who absolutely is the antidote to that, because of all the players who've had 3+ carries into the box and 3+ shots per 90 minutes, okay?
Can I guess?
In the top 5. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names, right? One of them I've never heard of, which doesn't really make my point for me, but I'll go with him first. Go on.
Also, but the likes of Salah,
Okay, let me go through the list.
Mbappe.
Right. Ademola Lookman from Atalanta.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, God, I can't read my own writing. There's a Celta Vigo player, and I've never heard of him.
Iago Aspas.
Bless
That
you.
could be what I've written. I don't know. Let's be honest. Anyway, Salah from Liverpool, Barcola, PSG, Dembele, PSG, Vinicius Junior, Madrid, and Madueke, Chelsea.
So that's decent company.
So that is good company. And again, you know, Chelsea from Christmas onwards didn't play well at all. And so he was restricted in that sense also. He does have the odd injury absence, muscular, unfortunately. He is pacey. He's rapid. He's rapid with the ball. He's got a good work ethic off the ball. I've seen a couple of Chelsea fans who are sorry to see him go because they feel that Chelsea fans treated him harshly and that they worry that he could absolutely, what's the word?
Come back to Bayern.
Like Salah did when he left Chelsea.
Oh, just kicked on, yeah.
Yeah, just like explode onto the scene and become an unplayable winger. I mean, again, and I'm going to use Sesko as my barometer every time this comes up from now on. He knows he's not getting in the first 11 ahead of Saka for the big games, but yet he's pushed for the move anyway. Backing himself. You want that mentality, unlike Sesko.
And he'll get minutes in those games when Saka's puffing and puffing at 70 minutes and we need something different and that injection of pace. And, you know, he's a bit of a chaos merchant. He actually reminds me, ironically, of Martinelli early doors, you know, and earlier in his career when it was pace and ball carrying until I think Arteta sort of remoulded him a bit into a more kind of controlled player. And I just hope that Madueke doesn't get blunted in that. We need that ball carrying, and that's the element of chaos, I think.
And he could play on the left as well as an out-and-out winger. Like,
he hasn't played a lot.
He's left. He is left-footed, so he can. It's not unimaginable to picture him on the left-hand side. I'll give the one flip side. He is the second biggest underperformer for XG last season in the Premier League. So thank God for Gyökeres, who can kind of balance that a little bit. But yeah, so I'm like you said, Steph, he's an Arsenal player. He's going to get my support, and I think he's a good player. I don't think anybody questions his ability. It was more, from my perspective, the consequences of his purchase and the timing and the cost. That's a lot of money. But then you think Elanga, 55 million to Newcastle.
Well, that's what won me round, because everyone was citing all these other deals that were going on and this, that and the other. And I posed a question on our social media about, okay then, this was after I'd done a little bit of research, just looking purely at last season, because you had Madueke coming to us, you had Kudus who's gone to Spurs, Elanga who's gone to Newcastle, and we've got Martinelli. And so I posed to people, okay, tell me what Martinelli's worth. There are rumours that Martinelli could have been on his way if we wanted to go for a Rodrigo-style player. So what's Martinelli worth? And the amount of people that were coming back saying 70, 80 million. You look at the numbers for last season, appearance, goals, assists, it's cigarette paper between, Kudus, Elanga, Madueke, Martinelli. And yet we're all sat there going, oh, Madueke, a bit expensive, not sure. But yeah, Martinelli, 70, 80 million. Mm-hmm. Like, we're overvaluing one and maybe slightly undervaluing the other. And we're so out of practice in buying forwards that we probably don't quite know. And like you say, the fact that it's spread over an amount of time. The other thing I noticed after the Gyökeres news blew up is that they're not dissimilar in price, which tells you everything you need to know about buying within the Premier League. You just pay a Premier League tax. He's English as well. I don't think it actually helps our homegrown numbers because he's not like an academy product or anything. But at the same time, it must be a factor. So because you're selling to a direct rival, whereas Gyökeres is obviously coming from the Portuguese league. It is what it is. So yeah, I mean, yeah, still wasn't sure at the start, but it certainly doesn't deserve the ridiculous response to it. And when we're playing Man United, all power to him.
And he's not going to make our team worse. He's going to make our bench a lot stronger.
Well, if you think that we could have been looking at Reece Nelson again supporting Saka, it's a different option, isn't it? It's a better option. No offence to Reece, love Reece, but yeah, he's not kicked on.
And apparently the Madueke fee and profile has no impact. It's completely separate from Eze. I do think it probably precludes us going for Rodrigo. But I know, Chris, I think you posed it in the WhatsApp group, Eze or Rodrigo. And I know, Steph, you might have posed it, and Chris, you might have responded. I can't remember. And I think we were all pretty unanimous with our response. Rodrigo it is. No, Eze. Eze, because of his versatility for me, because he can play on the left, but actually, again, that chaos factor, he carry the ball forward, break, so it's all that pressure's not on. And again, you can't, Saka, the other opposition won't be able to double up or triple up on Saka. So these other players, Gyökeres through the middle, Eze on the left, or Madueke on the left, or Eze in the middle, and more central, and Martinelli or Madueke on the left, that's going to occupy the opposition a lot more. So Saka's going to have more space. Ødegaard is going to have more space. More damage, and it's the goals we're missing.
Unpredictability. I'll just chuck that in because I think that's a huge thing that we've been missing. And I just think with those kind of players, that kind of profile, you won't know what the first 11 will be week in, week out. He could just make little tweaks and drop in Eze next to Ødegaard, for example, and rest Rice for a game. You just don't know at home when we're trying to batter down the door and you want those lock pickers. So we've got, like I said, the floor raisers, ceiling raisers, it's everything's kind of ratcheted up a notch, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Just on Eze, yes, there's all those things about, he's played in the Premier League ready, he's versatile, absolutely right. But just from a sort of fan and emotional sort of point of view, I feel like I already know him and already like him because of what he's done for Palace and, playing for England as well. Look, I'm sure I would grow to love Rodrigo if he came to the Premier League and tore it up, but there is that kind of, I don't know, it's a bit of a soft factor for me that I just find Eze incredibly likeable as a player. It's exciting to watch.
Well, he did that interview, or there was a feature with him before the FA Cup final. I suggest you go and watch it if you haven't seen it. And this is before there were any links between us and him. But he comes across so well. Like he's a very thoughtful, intelligent young man. I mean, he's been through a lot of rejection, and I think that's made him. It's that resilience he's got, and he was. And again, the human aspect. Again, we've had a lot of reminders this summer, some horrific, terrible reminders that these guys are people with families and so on. But he was in tears when Arsenal rejected him, and there's something really romantic about. And we know he wants, you talked about it, Chris, a bit earlier, he only wants Arsenal. Like Spurs made an inquiry and very, very quickly pivoted to Kudus because Eze clearly told them no, even though probably Eze would get more game time at Spurs or be guaranteed more game time at Spurs possibly, but no. So again, look, I know we've spoken to the player. I know he's got a release clause of 60 million plus 8 million in add-ons. I know we've not spoken to the club, but obviously the back channels and maybe there's some dialogue going on, talking about a Josh Nichols young defender as a make way in the in the deal. Reece Nelson would probably be a better fit for Palace because he's more of that position. He's more offensive in that sense. Maybe not the same position, but he's more offensive as opposed to a fullback. I mean, I don't know what Palace's situation is with defenders, but Eze. I mean, if you add Eze to the 6 players we've already got, then for me manage to extend Saka and sell those players. I mean, fair play to Berta. It becomes a 10 out of 10 window. Yep. It's already on the way to being a 10 out of 10 window. That Eze signing would be great, and to claw back maybe 80 million from those 5 or 6 sales, because it'd be interesting to see. We'll be able to judge how good Edu was by how well Berta sells these players in. I mean, this is somebody who is professional in this work. He's experienced in this job. Edu wasn't. He came from the Brazilian Federation to us. He had no experience. He didn't have his little black book. But Berta, final
charm, wasn't he? He operated on charm.
And barbecues.
Yeah.
And being an ex-player, he could play into that whole, know what it means to play for Arsenal and blah, blah, blah. But what I'm hoping for from Berta is those canny deals. I mean, we see it so often, a bit like when Liverpool signed Wirtz for 100 million and then all of a sudden Kwanzaa's going to Leverkusen for 30. Those little trade-offs between clubs, you build up relationships. So an Eze coming this way when we know other players might go their way to help bolster them. It's those trades that are going to hopefully make and break and help us to sell.
Creating the market. That's what I always accused Edu of not doing, or Arsenal of not doing. It's up to us to create the market. There's ways we don't just sit there and wait for offers to come in. Madueke is the only fee that you would look at and say that, that's a bit steep, because Gyökeres has come in lower than
I thought
all the figures we saw mooted. Kepa,
Norgaard,
5 million, is a bloody steal.
Yeah, this Mosquera 21,
like 13 million. It's like, right. Come on, these. With those factored in, then it's fine paying an extra 5-8 million up front for Madueke. That's okay. Swings and roundabouts. In fact, more swings than roundabouts. I don't know if it's that way around, but anyway. The final thing to say about the 6 players we've got in is they're all huge. There's Zubimendi is... Well, it depends on where you look. I've seen him listed as 5'9" and 5'11". I must admit, when I saw him standing next to Mertesacker somewhere, he looked taller than... He wasn't as much shorter than Mertesacker as I thought he might be. So he's between 5'9" and 5'11". All the others are over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Like set piece FC, ole, ole.
And Havertz has bulked up. Saliba looks like he's bulked up a little bit. Monsters. We've got a team of monsters. Love it.
I'd be completely intimidated when I go to watch them against the Leeds game.
There was a nice little video doing the rounds today with Calafiori at the camp that they've just arrived at. Did you see it? He's doing.
No, I did think of you when I did see it. Yes.
Yeah, swoon. But he was just showing all the players what they were eating for breakfast. Thinking, they all look pretty buff.
And on that note, speaking about their training camp, actually, I just wanted to mention that we're currently in Spain. I don't know when we come back. We've got a behind closed doors game against, is it Watford, I think, on Saturday, and then we're flying off to Singapore. But the training camp, I just wanted to reference the youngsters who've travelled with the squad this training camp, because pre-season is always an opportunity for a club to give some youth team players an experience or a taste of first team environment. So Max Dowman, obviously, and again, we keep forgetting about him, but I think he's got, is it number 56 or something like that? He's a bona fide first team squad member now. He's part of the first team setup. He will be on the bench. He will be getting minutes. He's gone, obviously, and I know George Bird gave us the nod on the other forward, Andre Harriman Anu. I don't know if I've pronounced his name correctly. He's also gone. Again, very young. Centre-back Marley Simon, who I first saw in the FA Youth Cup against Manchester United and thought, wow, he looks so good. and he's gone as well, which I'm pleased about. Midfielder Louis Copley, who's just signed his first professional contract, he's gone. There's another midfielder called Harrison Dudziak. I might be butchering his surname, apologies. He's gone. Then there's a winger, Ismail Kabia, who's had a taste of first-team action. I think he's played 2 or 3 times for us. Fullback Josh Nichols, who has played a couple of games, and he's the one that was mentioned in some reports about being a make-weight in the deal, any deal for Eze. And then the centre-back, Maldini, which I just think is brilliant. I know his surname's Kikuri, but Maldini is a centre-back. He can't be bad. Bit of a unit. Presumably he'll go out on loan again. He was at Bromley, I think. I might have that wrong, but I think he was at Bromley on loan for the second half of last season and made appearances for their first team. But he's hopefully going to get a bit more. It'll be really interesting to see which of those players are also on the plane to Singapore. Max Dowman, obviously, and I wonder who else will find their way there. But I just thought it'd be nice. I mean, Max Dowman, he's just turned 15. He's 15 like New Year's Eve. What are you doing for summer, mate? You end of year 10. Oh, I thought I'd go to Spain with me mates. Do you know what? I might go to Singapore with me mates as well. But, I can't. What was I doing at 15?
Probably not broadcastable.
Farming. Okay, it's quiz time, folks. Now, let me explain. I'm going to banish Chris for about a minute and a half. He's going to promise and assure us that he's going to mute his earphones and so on. So, Chris,
now
I'll wave at the camera. When you see me waving, come back in. All right, Steph.
Hello.
So, what I want you to do, and I saw Martin Keown do this on, I don't know, was it Talk Sport, and it was really quick fire. It was very. No, you don't.
Okay.
You don't. You're going to do this as quick as you can. I'm going to start the clock.
Yeah.
And I want you to name, and I'm looking for surnames only. So you can give me an answer or you can pass. Okay? I don't know. We'll say maybe a 5-second penalty for a pass.
All right.
And we go. Right? Okay. So I want you just to simply name surnames, where possible, an Arsenal player for every letter of the alphabet.
Really?
So start with A. We'll go start with A and go forward. I did this earlier and it was 4 I fell at. And I didn't time myself though, so it probably took me about 2 hours. Go on. A.
Adams. Bold.
B. C.
C. C. Didn't we have a player called Carter Vickers?
That's Vickers.
Everyone will be screaming at me. Why can't I think of a player beginning with C? That is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I got this one. You can pass.
Pass.
Okay. D.
Oh, Denilson.
E.
Why is it so hard?
E was hard. I didn't get E.
Right, pass.
I passed. F.
Flamini.
G.
Gilberto.
H.
Kleb.
Big. I. Japan.
Inamoto.
J.
Jenkinson.
K.
Oh, Karlstrom.
L.
L. Lauren.
He's M.
Madueke.
Oh, okay, I'll give that. It's not signed. N.
You can't have Madueke. Surely.
N.
N. Nichols. Josh Nichols.
O.
Odegaard.
P.
What?
P.
Sorry, P. Pires.
Q.
There's no Q, sure.
Irish fella.
Quinn. No, Quinn. Oh, my God.
R. Check.
Rosicky. You're helping
S.
me out too much here. S. can't believe how terrible I am at this. S. Oh no, that's his first name.
Best
Seaman.
chant this year.
Seaman.
Okay.
Oh,
T.
God.
T.
Torre. Not Traore. Torre.
You. Centre back. West Ham. I might be misleading you that.
Upson.
Yeah. V.
No, that was his first name. Vivas. Nelson Vivas.
Okay. W.
I've got no idea.
Nutty.
Oh, Winterburn. Oh, my
X.
brain is gone. We
X.
don't have an X. Oh, Xhaka.
We do.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
Xhaka.
Y.
That's his first name. I can do first names.
This is the only one I got was an old one, but centre back, not that old actually.
Centre back begins with a Y.
Ashley.
Young. No.
Yeah.
Oh, Willie Young.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay.
Z.
Zubimendi.
Right.
That was pain. That was awful. I apologise to everyone. I cannot believe that I am on an Arsenal podcast.
Right, Chris.
And I did so bad.
Okay, so Chris, what I want from you, and this took a bit longer than I'd anticipated. Martin Keown, by the way, nailed this in 45 seconds. Like I was like, he must have been prepped for it, perhaps. But,
yeah, exactly. I had nothing
so
to go
Chris,
on there.
going through the alphabet, I'll call out the letter, and I want you to give me any player that's played for Arsenal with whose surname begins with that letter, from any era, but it has to be surname. Okay, so I'll say the letter. I'll tell you when to start. Well, start when I say the letter. Okay,
Right.
So you know what you've got to do.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, right. A.
Arshavin.
B.
Why are you laughing?
Of all the names to say first.
B. Go on. I
B.
said Arshavin first as well.
Brady.
C.
Coquelin.
Steph, look up Carter Vickers because you can get that one if it's there. D.
What was his name? Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
I'm feeling
Right back,
better now.
Anfield. Right back, Anfield.
Dixon, thank you.
E. It's a hard one. Me and Steph both passed.
I still
Yeah,
can't
pass.
think of one.
Yeah. I mean, in the interest of time, I don't want to sit here erring the whole time. So,
F.
damn you,
Fantastic midfielder.
Fabregas.
G.
That's all it needs is a little Gyökeres. No.
Yeah, you can have it. You can have it. You can have it. You can have it.
Okay, right.
H.
Hillier.
I.
Iwobi.
Oh, well done. J.
It's got to be a
Current team. Current team.
current team.
Cross.
What?
Easter. Easter. Cross.
Jesus. Yeah.
K. K. Rash. Rash. It's his nickname.
Oh, Keown.
Yeah, there are others, I'm sure. L.
Lundberg.
Well done. M.
Madueke.
I can't. Steph had that as well, so you can have it. N.
Norgaard. It's all recency bias.
O.
O'Leary.
P.
Oh,
Invincible.
Pires. Yeah.
Q.
Quinn.
Well done. R. Czech.
Petr Cech, what?
No.
You said Czech.
Nationality, Czech.
Oh, Rosicki.
S.
Seaman.
T.
Thomas.
Yes. U.
You? Is there a U?
Yes. I've helped Chris a little bit more than Steph.
You'd have to.
Centre back.
I
think he went to West Ham.
Upson.
V. Invincible.
Vieira.
W. Same
Winterburn.
team.
Winterburn.
Okay. X.
Xhaka.
Y. Only 2 players, but one of them you'll know. Centre back.
Your era.
Yeah.
Young. Willie Young.
Yeah. And Z.
Zelalem.
Yes, well done.
What a player!
He never played for us, did he?
Zubamendi
God, I'll
was
have to
the-
edit all the pauses out of that. It's going to be excruciating.
Why? No, that's all right. It's funny. It's
People-
maybe less funny for those listening, but for
Yeah,
those
because they'll
watching,
be going, well, how
it's
could
funny.
you not know?
Oh yeah, it's easy after the fact. When you put on the spot like
So-
that, I found that incredibly difficult.
Well, you obviously did better than me.
4 minutes 03, Chris. 3 minutes 41, Steph.
Yes.
I didn't get a buoy. A buoy.
Buoy. I'm always talking about bloody Abue.
I didn't get I either. I forgot about Iwobi and Inamoto. I remembered later. I didn't get N either. I missed N. So Nasri, Nelson. I didn't even think. But I wasn't under pressure. I didn't get Y either. There's only Willie Young and Yanaris. Do you remember Yanaris?
Nico Yanaris. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So,
Wow.
That's
well done,
cruel.
boys. That was difficult. It was a
Unbelievable.
bit of fun. A bit of fun. Well, I enjoyed it.
Sadist.
Anyway, any other business? Anything else in the Arsenal world?
In the Arsenal
I've
world,
got
no,
one.
not particularly. The Arsenal women, no. Some of the Arsenal women have been playing in the Women's Euros. Beth Mead scored in a rout that England had against Wales. They go through to the next round. So
Yeah, indeed. And the only other thing is that Newcastle look like they're going to sign Ekitike. Now, that shouldn't bother me.
but it does,
Why does it bother me?
because they'll have Isak and Ekitike, or
No, that's not what bothers me.
they could be selling Isak to.
Liverpool.
Who do you think? Yes, this bothers me.
Can Liverpool do it on top of the Wirtz deal?
Well, they spent nothing last year, and they've probably saved a lot of.
That
Credit.
seems big though.
And Diaz
Isak's going to be
will-
150 million.
And Diaz is going to go for 60 million. Nunez for 40, 50 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. Does he fit into the team? Like, is he? Who plays through the middle for them? Gakpo.
No one in particular. They've just
I mean,
got forward.
they could have Wirtz,
Salah.
Isak, Salah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
good, isn't it?
Anyway, that news. Ornstein dropped a little tweet about there's current talks going on between Newcastle. I think they've bid 75 million for him, and it hasn't been maybe in the last hour or so it has, but hasn't been rejected out of hand yet. So, I mean, I can't see a world in which Newcastle keep Ekitike and Isak. They're very similar. They occupy very similar spaces. And it's a little bit of a worry because who else would have the clout to buy Isak?
Yeah, or have room for him.
Or have room.
You know?
Yeah, well,
I
so
mean, City and
Madrid-
Chelsea could, but they haven't got room.
Yeah, no, Liverpool is the prime.
Yeah, Liverpool, Madrid, no room for him. Barcelona can't afford me. So, not them.
And he's not. Where else is he
Chelsea, I wouldn't put it past Chelsea because they've just picked up another 100 million for winning
going?
that
Mad
tournament.
to go there.
Yes, he would. Could we go for him? Wide left.
Oh,
You can't have too many world-class players.
true.
And I'm sure he had an Arsenal shirt on as a kid. Anyway, that was my only kind of minor panicked observation this evening. But if that's it, if we're done, we shall... Oh, look out for all our North Bank Meet series. There's loads of them out there. There'll be a couple more on the way in the next couple of weeks as well. We'll be back with some pre-season fun. We'll do our predictions for the new season as well, but we'll also do a couple of Arsenal 11s. Steph, you had the idea of doing like a banter 11 and players we should have signed 11 and players we can't believe we did sign 11, or whether that's the same as the banter 11 or not, I don't know. So
Might be some crossover.
Thanks very much for the chat. Thank you very much for the quiz, for enduring that 7 minutes of torture. Well, not for me. I enjoyed it. Have fun. Be safe and all that. Thank you very much. See you on the other side. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye. The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.